Coach, can you pass this ball? He says, I'm not even sure I can swallow it.
You probably recognize that voice, don't you? And that's our good friend Royce Elliott, who happens to be on the line right now.
Hey, that's from the Gatlin Brothers Theater in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, mighty fine. I had a lot of fun at the S&S Supper Club with you Saturday morning.
Yeah, you mean Steak and Shake?
Yeah.
Steak and Shake.
We're on the Supper Club circuit, buddy.
Royce, I'll tell you, if you ever are in any place where Royce wanders in, you know you're never going to get another word in edgewise, and you're going to get a lot of laughs out of it. But, yeah, you were in rare form Saturday morning, I think.
Well, we got to keep the boys loose. We had a great group there.
Yeah.
Nice bunch of guys.
I get together with those guys every once in a while, and they got one's a former circus flyer, and one's a watch repairman, and they just
flyer.
One's a former projectionist who showed movies to more people than you can imagine. But it's quite a group, I'll tell you.
That reminds me of that guy that was doing his circus act. Remember that? Called a guy in out of the audience to break a concrete block on his head with a sledgehammer. It took a wild swing, hit him on the side of the head, put him in a coma for 3 years. He woke up in the hospital, and he said, ta-da!
Had no idea how much time had gone by.
Showbiz.
It's like the guy that goes to... you just reminded me of this other goofy one. You remember about the guy that goes to audition for a big producer? He comes in and says, I've got a great act. He says, what do you do? He says, just watch this. He sets his suitcase down. And he grabs a cement block, puts it on his head, and he says, now you take the sledgehammer and hit me over the head with it, and we'll crack the block. And the producer does, and he says, now what's the suitcase for? He says, those are my aspirin.
He's going to get a big one.
Yeah, right.
So speaking of circus jokes, remember the guy, the human cannonball, was shot out of a cannon for 10 years every day. One day he walks in, he told the boss, he said, I'm quitting this job. He says, what's the matter? You losing your guts? He said, no, I'm sick of the long walk back.
Got to be of the right caliber.
Yeah. See, you kept him launched up.
Oh.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, we had a good time Friday night. You and I were sharing a meal with a bunch of, influential people, right?
Boy, nice people.
City of Bloomington people, and they were a great group.
Yeah, the great awards dinner.
Yeah.
For the city of Bloomington. Judy Markowitz was there, and her husband, who's almost as short as I am.
Nice to be in the Judy Markowitz room at Jumer's.
I like that. That was a great line.
But we had a good time.
Yes, we did.
Good time. Well, everybody has a good time wherever Royce goes. Royce, I guess last time we talked, you were going to be on the Statler Brothers show, and finally that happened. You were on.
Yeah, I didn't even, thanks to you, let me know it was in the Bloomington Pantograph.
Yeah.
My agent didn't know it.
Your agent has an unlisted number.
Yeah, no wonder I'm not getting any work. But we taped that in November, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. You go all over the place, and I don't know, we just happened to catch you on the phone today. I thought maybe you'd be in, but we've been so coordinated here. I meant to give you a call last night just to double check, and by golly, you remember it was on your schedule, so it's nice to visit over the phone anyway.
Yeah, I'd love to come over. And, I love to eat at Schooners. They have the great service there and the great food.
In fact, that little clip that I played, they have your tape, and you can find that little clip and many, many other jokes on there at Schooners, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, as we speak.
And not too well.
Right, yeah, rush right out. There's only 4 million of them left. No, they do a great job. We move a lot of tapes over there. And, it's all clean, and people can play it for their family. And I think that's one reason they like it. But anyway, we've been... I'm doing a lot of corporate-type things lately, which I really enjoy. And, I was doing a bankers convention, and this guy was about 5'1", and you know how I feel about political correctness. I think it's ridiculous. But I introduced him like a great, I said, we got some notables here, and he thought he was getting some kind of award. He stood up. I said, okay, you want to go ahead and stand up now?
He was already standing.
Yeah. I told him I thought he was a president at Keebler's Bakery. The only banker I ever saw that wore a suit made by Garanimals.
You just got back from Florida, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I went down and did the fantasy. The Chicago White Sox people that run the fantasy camp pay me to come down and harass everybody in the camp. And
now the fantasy camp is where other people pay money to go play with these players.
Yes, right. They pay like $3,000 a week to go work out with the ex-major leaguers,
right.
Not the current ones.
Are they told that you're not an ex-major leaguer, or do they think that you are?
Well, no, they usually introduce me as their aerobics instructor. For physical fatness.
But you do have a uniform, don't you?
Yeah, they gave me a uniform. The number was 911. I think they're trying to tell me something. There's a drunk that went in the bar and he said, "Get the house a drink." Well, they got everybody a drink. He said, "That's $38." The drunk said, "I don't have any money." The bartender just sailed him through the door. He got up, brushed himself off, wandered into the back door of the same bar, and the guy said, "I thought I told you to stay out of here." He said, "What, do you own every joint in town, do you?" A little bit oblivious.
Yeah, that's like that other one where the guy, we were talking about this Saturday, too. The guy goes in and he says, "I'd like eight shots of your finest liquor." And he shovels them all down as faster than you can say, faster than the bartender can pour them. And the bartender said, "How come you drink so fast?" He said, "Well, you drink fast, too, if you got what I got." The bartender says, "What do you have?" He says, 5 cents.
He was getting them down as fast as he could.
Yes.
There were the poor old winos in court on a vagrancy charge. The judge said, "Is this the first time you've been up before me?" He said, "Oh, no, Judge, what time you get up?"
All right. We're going to be back in just a minute.
Okay.
Royce Elliott was the fastest kid in the whole school, I believe, at Peoria Woodruff at one time. Were you not?
That's right. I can run like a bandit, buddy.
Which made you realize you probably could handle a career in comedy. If it didn't work, you could head for the car.
That's right.
Yeah.
As long as I could get out the back door.
Not only that, but Royce is a little older than I am, and he's told me he's won 3 gold medals at the Olympics over the years. He was a star football player for the Bears. And it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, I mean, the older you get, the more you can stretch it.
Did you ever think about doing... You were pretty good when it came to athletics.
Yeah, I played a lot of ball in the high school and college, and played a lot of amateur ball, but, I wasn't...
Never got hurt or anything?
No. The only time I got hurt, when I was playing in the high school, I weighed about 150 pounds. I was a running back. I got hit at the sidelines. They knocked the wind out of me. By the time the coach got out there, I had my breath back, and he said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "How's the fans taking it so far?" He didn't think that was too funny. No sense of humor.
My introduction to football happened watching a Marx Brothers movie, I think, Horse Feathers, where they had a chariot and footballs, taking them out of a garbage can and all kinds of stuff. Just confused the whole game on me. Royce is just lounging around today.
Just serious lounging.
Yeah, and in fact, we just have him on the phone, but this works okay. You can still talk to him if you want to.
Hey.
If you want to get in.
Kenny said him and his wife had words the other day, but he didn't get to use his.
I like that. You know what's the first thing you do when you're on the highway and you rear-end another car?
No.
Say goodbye and hide the cell phone. I think that's kind of indicative of what's going on the road today. Don't you think so?
I think so. That's one reason I don't have a cell phone.
You know?
I don't bother with it.
Wow, I figure a guy like you, big important guy like you, would be flashing that around.
Nah, I don't go for all that yuppie stuff. I'm too old for that routine.
It is strange though. This group of guys that you had breakfast with last Saturday.
Yeah,
got together, and one of the guys brought a cell phone in, and one of the guys who usually has breakfast with him is now in Florida.
Yeah,
and with his wife, I guess she dragged him down there, and he's probably enjoying it now that he's there. But it's such a strange time, and as inventions came along, here you couldn't imagine 25 years ago, maybe, that there'd be a whole bunch of guys sitting around in a restaurant, like a Steak and Shake, talking on a cell phone to one of their cronies down in Florida.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
It goes on now.
It's amazing. It reminds me that one of my favorite jokes that Ralph Emery used to have me tell every time I was on Nashville Now was about the guy that called the motor pool. Remember, the corporal was in charge of the motor pool.
Oh, yeah.
Colonel Brown called down and said, "Send a jeep to my quarters right away." He said, "We don't have any jeeps down there except for Fat Boy Colonel Brown's." Colonel Brown said, "What'd you say?" He said, "I said we don't have any jeeps down there except for Fat Boy Colonel Brown's." Colonel Brown said, "You know who you're talking to?" And he said, "No, who is it?" He said, "This is Colonel Brown." He said, "You know who you're talking to?" And he said, "No." And he said, "So long, Fat Boy."
Security on the phone.
Yeah. So that was an important phone call for Colonel Brown.
We're back in a minute.
Said he'd never go ice fishing again. It took him 8 hours to cut a hole big enough for the boat. He got beat up the first time he went hitchhiking. He was using the wrong finger.
Royce Elliott is here, so who knows what's going to happen this morning. But
I'm dressed in all black. I look like a maitre d' for a Steak and Shake, don't I? They bowl of chili mac there, fatso guy said. Remember Paul Lynn when the cop pulled him over for speeding and he whipped out his ticket pad and started to write him a speeding ticket? Paul Lynn said, "I'll have 2 cheeseburgers and a shake."
not the thing to say.
Not exactly.
Still like the Paul Lynde story, though. He, in fact, it was on an old album. He recorded a comedy album.
Oh, I know it.
And I don't know what happened to it.
From
We used
New
to have
Faces.
one here. Was that what it was called?
Mm-hmm.
Talked about his trip to Africa.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he said while he was over there, the natives killed and ate his wife. But what he remembered most about the trip.
You know, he had that half sneer, half grin. He was a riot.
Oh, funny guy.
When he was on Hollywood Squares, he was terrific, wasn't he, with the quips?
Yeah.
One time the question was, why doesn't President Nixon like to watch the news? And, of course, the obvious answer was because it depressed him. But Paul Lynde said, "Paul Lynde, please." He said, "Because it's opposite Sesame Street." They said, "What should you do if your baby insists on throwing his food?" He said, "Tip his high chair over." But he was just ridiculous.
923. Remember some of those guys like Charlie Weaver?
Oh, they were
show?
terrific.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Hollywood Squares.
And, you know, they're so quick, those guys, those old pros like that. I mean, they had so much background that they could pull up a line.
George Gobel was a regular.
I'm just going to say that. You must be mental telepathy.
Or psycho.
Yeah.
Let me break here a minute. Royce Elliott's with us this morning, and it's a Wednesday. 829-2345 will get you in. I don't know why you'd want to get in, but if you want to get in,
Oh, boy.
you could.
A lot of people are trying to get out.
1-800-322-9377.
Chestnuts.
926 at WJBC Radio, and I was talking about the Brotherhood tree. We're going to do that. You're going to visit with us?
Oh, sure.
He's just here early, but
Why
Royce,
not? Yeah.
Royce is here. He's got
Always
his...
glad to visit with my hero here. We got a little
Joke
Christmas gift, a joke book, and a tape combo we're going to give away today.
Wow.
Unless you want to give them away separately, you're the boss, Ken.
Well, we'll figure this out. We want to make as many people happy as we
Yes,
can.
we
Maybe
can.
should give them
Spread the mirth.
Spread the mirth.
And I've already spread the girth, but the mirth. In fact, my girth is spreading.
That is a sweater, boy. You're proving once again yarn is a lot stronger material than a lot of people think.
It's under duress, I can tell you that. They look like a 300-pound yarn ball.
912. Last time you looked like a 300-pound tomato because it was the red shirt.
I did.
This is the black one. You do look like you belong at Steak and Shake in a way.
I love your chili.
It's not that people there are wearing black sweaters, but the black and white, it's a nice combination. Looks good on you.
Oh, thank you. It makes me look trim, doesn't it?
I'd stay away from those stripes.
Yeah. Somebody might tip me over and try to roll me. I'm going to go now.
Start to do that.
I'm going to lay on the couch now.
We were talking about him the other day. I think that's just
I
creeping
love
into
him.
my language.
I love Kingfish. He killed me.
I was thinking, well, you're thinking Kingfish. I was thinking of Dean Martin. 'Cause
Oh, yeah, Dean Martin.
would occasionally go into that.
That's where he got
I think he borrowed that from that, sure.
I like,
I'm going to go to the couch now.
I love the way that
Go to the piano and sing on the top of the piano.
Amos and Andy. See, you know how I feel about political correctness. So I'll talk about Amos and Andy. I think they were terrific.
I do too. I ran across an Amos and Andy show. You know, they always say, "Well, it's insensitive." No, it isn't.
Oh,
I heard there's a Christmas show. I defy anybody to find a show better than the one that I located. It was on tape. It's available.
oh, they're terrific.
It was a Christmas show. It had more emotion. It had more love.
That's right.
More kindness, more caring, and it really created the whole impression of what Christmas should be. And it was just written so well and done so well.
We got all these politically correct crackpots that want to defend somebody that don't want to be defended. I mean, what a bunch of baloney.
Let's not get into that.
No. I mean, let's stay positive. Kingfish says, well, there was a couple big oil typhoons that just blowed in from the east.
Oil typhoons.
We're going down to the Mardi Gras now.
Yeah.
Remember Leo Gorsi? He was great with a malaprop, too. He said...
Those are the Bowery Boys.
Yeah. He said, your eyes are going bad on your set. You ought to see an optimist. It's close.
Let me break.
Okay, go ahead.
Break for the news. Royce Elliott's here, a little early. We're going to visit after 9:30. Glad to see you, my friends. I have in studio with me a man who hasn't had to shiver in years because he has that extra layer of sweater.
I wouldn't talk.
A built-in layer of insulation, I'll tell you.
Ken's carrying child.
Oh, a little shot.
Just kidding.
just look like.
We can do that to each other.
Yeah.
Does
Fats.
Ken's nose stay
Okay,
on?
Chubbs.
Does Ken's nose stay on when he takes the glasses off?
It's just cruel.
I thought
It's
it came
just
with
cruel.
the deal there.
21 in front of 10 o'clock. We have, actually, Allison and I thought if we call each other fat and chubby, it would be an incentive for us to try to lose weight.
Well,
but how much eggnog have you had so far this morning? Isn't that good stuff? Did you get any of that,
No,
Royce?
I saw it and I ran from it because I
good.
just tried to kill myself.
I don't think I've ever had any.
Well, it's great.
It's great.
I should try it.
It is delicious. Yeah. We're back and visiting with Royce in just a moment on WJBC. Jim and John on the line. Hi, Jim.
Hi.
Hey, Jimbo, how are you, buddy?
All right, do you go to school in the South End of Peoria?
Well, I went to grade school in the south end of
Did you?
Peoria, and then I moved. My parents moved and didn't tell me. No,
I can understand that.
no, I moved up to the north side when I was in the fifth grade.
And then you went to...
But I learned to fight on the south side.
Well...
I mean, you had no choice.
I think my brother knows who you are. You know anybody named Powell?
Oh, no, yes, I do.
I'll bet you do.
Ned Meister?
Huh?
Wasn't Ned Powell, was it?
Yeah, it's my brother.
He's a legend in his spare time.
Yes, he is, and we don't need to talk about
No. We won't get into what he's famous for. No.
You can't do that, right?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
But, yeah, Ned's my brother, and my sister's married to Dan Schernack.
Oh, all right. It's a rotten break for her.
This is like an old family reunion here.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Schernack's a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, he is a good guy. He's not near as dumb as I look, I'll tell you that.
Are you just as slim as Ken is?
Well, I'm down to about a ton.
Well,
I'm so fat, my wife had to let out the shower curtain.
I want to see the cat that dragged you in this morning.
Yeah, boy, he's a big cat. He's wearing a truss, too.
The Miller Park people are looking for him right now. Hey, listen, thanks for calling.
Okay, talk to you later.
All right. John, how are you this morning?
Fine, Ken. Hi, Royce.
John, you big, tall son of a gun, how are you?
I'm great, thanks.
My favorite slam dunker of all time.
Hey, Royce, I had the opportunity to be in your audience last night, and not only are you extremely funny, but we were just so impressed with the good, wholesome way you put on a presentation. It was absolutely fabulous.
Well, I appreciate that. I hope you got a few laughs out of it.
A few laughs. Then I made the mistake of buying your tape. I was up all night laughing at that. But anyway, the atmosphere around Layman's is very, very happy today because of you.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Royce.
All right.
Thanks, John. It's 17 in front of 10. Yeah, you did the Christmas party there last night.
Yeah.
It's a big time of the year for Christmas parties.
Oh, yes. Well, we did one together the other night.
At the Paradise.
At Marlon Perkins' Wild Kingdom.
the Paradise Hotel. That was fun.
Yeah. Oh, I know it.
It's always fun.
We got, you know what? I've got my joke book here, and I thought I'd just kind of open
Just
the
turn to any
page at
page?
random.
All right.
And here we go. And up here I open to one of my favorite sections called Heckler Stoppers. I've got everything categorized in the book, so you can go, if you want a fat joke, you can get one, or a skinny. Here's what a heckler is. You've been in the business, and we've had a few in our day.
These are people who think they own the floor.
And
right?
Here I get, guy says, if a guy's heckling a comedian, here's a few lines he can use and put them down. He said, "Tell me, sir, was the ground cold when you came up this morning? Why don't you put your teeth in backwards and bite yourself? What do you bother me for when I'm working? I don't come around when you're loading garbage and bug you." He said, "Look, buddy, I get paid to make a fool of myself. You're doing it for nothing." I had a suit like that till my dad got a job. He says to the girl, he says, "Is this a blind date, or did you volunteer for that?"
Just turn to any page in the book, and you'll run across that stuff.
Right.
Is
Here's
book
what I
available?
really like. You heckled me 20 years ago. I never forget a suit. And the book's got 260 of my favorite clean jokes and some pictures with some great artists that I've worked with, like Conway Twitty and Vince Gill and Mike Ditka and some of those guys, Buddy Hackett, Jerry Lewis.
You did the roast for Ditka out in Vegas.
Las Vegas, and I also did the roast for Tommy Lasorda, which was hosted by Frank Sinatra. Had people in the audience like Gregory Peck and Shirley Jones, really Dick Van Patten.
Wow. He's up in...
and Gregory Peck was falling out of his chair when I was up there. It made me feel good.
Yeah, well, that has to feel...
Oh, yeah.
Have to feel good.
And
Rich Little had a nice little word for you afterwards.
Yeah.
After the Ditka
Yeah,
roast.
that's right.
It was quite a compliment.
Yeah, he said, "You stole the show, you little puke." But I was the only one there I never heard of. They introduced me, they said, "Who? Who's the fat guy?"
13 before 10. That's rough. People come in to see everybody but you.
That's right. Yeah, they did.
And then you're
but
out
they
there.
left. They knew who I was when they left. I'll guarantee you that.
That's good. We're going to continue in just a moment with Royce Elliott on the Ken Behrens Show. Royce is in a particularly good mood. He took an IQ test last week and got the results. They came back negative. So
Boy, his word sick about it.
He's good. Ken, how are you this morning?
I'm just fine.
Good.
Hello, Kenny. How are you, buddy?
Real good.
You sound pretty chipper here for such a cold. But was that 11 below? That wasn't the wind chill?
Yeah, that was the wind chill factor.
Oh, I was going to say, gee, Merry Christmas. It's cold enough, but...
Actually, I call it the wind chin factor because
Yes.
I've got so many now. they tend to cool down quicker than anything else I own.
WC once said, "So cold today, I saw a dog frozen to a fire hydrant."
It's pretty cold.
It's cold.
You can tell Royce is a good guy because he has pictures of his family in his book and
Yes, sir.
your lovely wife.
She is a beautiful lady.
She's the woman you married over the phone, you
That's
say.
it. And 35 years with me is long enough to prove she can take a joke.
Has it been 35?
Yes.
Wow.
And did you ever, those marriages remind me of the 95-year-old couple that was filing for divorce. Jet said, "Geez, you've been married 75 years. Why would you want a divorce at this stage of the game?" Guys, well, we wanted to wait till all the kids were dead. Jeez, that's terrible. Not as bad as it sounds because the kids are 70,
Yeah, enough is enough.
Yeah, enough's enough, yeah. We didn't think it would last. The guy in divorce court, the judge said, "Mr. Jones, I'm awarding your wife $3,500 a month." He said, "That's good, Judge. I'll throw in a few bucks now and then myself."
Like that, too.
We got a decent shake out of it.
You can only take so much, though. It's like the guy that lived in the same house for 90 years, and after 90 years, born in the house, raised in the house, lived in the house, he moved across the road and bought that house and moved in. And somebody asked him why he did it, and he says, "I guess it's just the gypsy in me."
It's a gypsy in his soul. He's a rambling man.
Yes. 3 minutes before 10. Let me break for this. Now.
Winter has a ribbon.
Feels like 1 degree right now. The wind's down a little bit, so. Was it this way in Peoria? Did you get a little
yes.
snow?
Mm-hmm. A little nippy.
Since Royce drove over in his automobile.
Yes, a 38 Plymouth I took over the payments on. It's Skinny said his car's so old it's still insured for Indian raids.
Pretty old. I see where General Motors has called it quits with the big wagon, the big American station wagon. Now history.
It's extinct. It went the way of the dodo bird.
Yeah, if you don't get a good catalytic converter, that can really stink. Did you notice that?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
General Motors officials confirmed that the last U.S.-made full-size station wagon quietly rolled off a Chevrolet assembly line in Texas last week.
Well, it's a sad day. I used to have one when my family was much younger. You got a lot of use out of it for the Little League games and all that kind of stuff.
Production closeout of the Chevrolet Caprice Classic wagon and its upscale sister, the Buick Roadmaster Estate wagon, ends an era that began with a Woody Model A station wagon built by Henry Ford in 1929.
Wood panels, yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah.
Chrysler built its last full-size wagon, a Plymouth Grand Fury, in 1977. Ford stopped making Crown Victoria and Colony Park wagons in 1991. Says here the booming popularity of minivans, sport utility vehicles, and so-called mid-size wagons doomed the big wagons with enough space for a full sheet of plywood. And that was true. You could put a 4x8 sheet on those things.
It was wonderful. Yep. And still had the comfort of a car, You know
what the first station wagon sold for?
$700.
Boy, are you close. $695.
And
you win a prize.
Hey, how about a couple pieces of fudge?
So yours. Sticker price on the last fully equipped Buick Roadmaster, $31,145.
Wow.
They are no more. I like a station wagon, though.
Oh, I thought they were nice. They were perfect.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, if a guy's like a musician or something, too, Billy had my manager, No Neck Dentino, who plays some music, had a station wagon for years, and his equipment fit in the back perfect,
Yeah. Minivans are great, but you can't beat station wagons for when you really need space to haul stuff.
Right, right.
Well, maybe they'll bring them back eventually.
Well, I
brand
think
new.
they will. Everything comes back around, And
including some of the jokes.
Yeah, I've certainly turned around.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
How are
Hey,
you?
Jeffrey, how are you, buddy?
How are you? Fine.
Not bad for a fat guy. I'm hanging in there.
You got yourself a book, Jeff, because you were the 10th caller. How about that?
Hey, I'll enjoy it.
Where you from?
I'm from Manere, Illinois.
All right. Well, you probably need a few laughs up there, don't you?
Yeah.
I used to play ball over there in a Sunday afternoon league about 100 pounds ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, many years ago. They had a Sunday afternoon league with Pekin and Tremont and Manere. Hopedale, that's right.
And Delavan?
That's it.
Yeah.
Still got that dent right there by the home plate.
Hey, Roy?
Yes, sir.
You can probably have fun with this one.
Okay.
I'm in a tractor hauling manure today.
No.
From Minear? Minear manure?
Is that? Yeah. Yeah, he's near manure. No. Am I near there? No.
Let's not get dirty here.
Well, I mean, if he's hauling it, I'm not getting racy here.
I'm not insinuating
you ought to
that.
be a horse whip with a real horse.
All right. Listen, Jeff, we'll have this here for you, okay?
Thank you.
Have a good Christmas, Jeff.
Wipe your shoes when you come in, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, thanks a lot.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Well, if he's on a tractor today, man,
it's cold.
He'd better have some insulated undies.
Royce Elliott is with us, 10:15 in the morning at WJBC. You want to do the minute thing? That's always fun.
Yeah. Let's do the 60-second drill. Why not?
Ready, get set, go.
My mother-in-law's so tough she bowls overhanded. She was shaving her legs, and when the weed eater ran out of gas, she fell off a horse, broke her leg, and the horse shot her. Got so much hair on her arm, looked like she got Don King in the head. Like she's so ugly when she lays on the beach, the tide won't even come in. She's attached to a machine that's keeping her alive, the refrigerator. My wife's such a rotten cook, our roaches are anorexic. At our house, we pray after her and we eat. She thought the smoke alarm was a timer. You can't raise your hand to your kids anymore. It leaves your groin unprotected. Told my kid about the birds and bees. He told me about my wife and the butcher. And I think they're going to have me back in Vegas next winter. I heard the guy say it'd be a cold day. We have him back. He didn't get any sleep. Last night I was there, this woman kept pounding on my door all night. I got up at 4 in the morning, let her out. Late in the evening, stopped me, said, I'll do anything you want for $200. I said, paint my house. I bet on the horse at 20-1. He came in at 3:45. So a cop pulled over, said, your wife fell out of the car 4 blocks ago. Mackie said, thank God, I thought I went deaf. Another cop pulled over, said, you coasted that stop sign, buddy, I want to give you a ticket. He said, I stopped. He said, no, you didn't. You want me to show you how to slow down or stop? Never mind, I blew the joke.
Well, anyway, that's over the limit anyway. And I was so stupid, I forgot to count. I didn't keep track how many he told. But I'll tell you, we're around the news time. I want to thank you for coming by. Let's give away your tape. What do you
Let's
say?
do that.
Let's just give it to the... We're back, we're front, we're everything in between here this morning.
Roy.
Royce Elliott has arrived. Yeah. Or is it somebody else? Who are you doing now?
Edgar
Buchanan, of course.
Edgar always was on the sidelines stirring up trouble. I never did like that guy. I think we had to string him up. I loved Edgar.
You know, you could do a great impression of him. Can you do more than that? Or,
Oh, yeah.
anything? You can say anything
yeah.
as Edgar Buchanan.
Oh, yeah, it's good to be here, Ken. I got Booger and Roger. Oh, what a couple beauties.
Roger Monroe and Booger's along. I'm Ken Behrens. This is a Saturday get-together, and this works out well because we visit with Royce from time to time.
Yes,
Like the first
we
Tuesday
do.
of the month, and Roger came along last time. We had a good time.
I like the sweater since he tore the letter off.
Isn't
Looks
that
a lot better. Roger was a great baseball player many years ago, and his brother Zach pitched in the World Series in 1958 for the New York Yankees, and that's a true bit of trivia.
He's got the ring, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
That's right. That's why
Give
I was
it back to him, would you?
I saw it when he was
no,
picking
he's
his nose.
straight, and so am I. No, I was interested coming over, listening to your program, talking about personalities, and as a result of my brother playing with the Yankees, I had the pleasure of meeting a lot of great stars.
I did.
Mm-hmm. Mickey
you
Mantle, yes, Mickey Mantle was a guy that in his prime was a guy that you really didn't want to meet. You know, as it turns out, he had a real serious drinking problem. But later in life, he straightened his affairs out, pardon the expression, and really turned out to be a nice guy.
Yeah. Well, the lady called in and she said, she saw Jackie Robinson, but she didn't really.
Great athlete.
Oh, great athlete. Yeah.
I got a chance to interview Jesse Owens on
Is
the
that
show,
right?
just by the phone. But what a nice man.
You've met a lot of great people.
I have, probably more than I've deserved to have met, and I've bothered more people than I've deserved to bother.
Well,
but
he's had Steve Allen and Roger Monroe.
Royce Elliott.
And Royce Elliott.
Yeah.
This is the guy that's met a lot of stars.
Yeah, he really has, and he's performed with them.
Frank Sinatra, Ann Jillian, just to name a couple of, George Shadid.
George Shadid, yeah. He's our honorable Illinois senator.
State senator.
Yeah.
Was thinking about running for president, but they couldn't get his nose on a stamp.
he's the guy that
Well,
walked
he
in.
makes you look like a bulldog, Behrens, I'll tell you that.
He's the guy that walked in the door and they said your nose was on time, but you were 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
Could we have a drum roll?
Yeah, he's still breathing yesterday's air.
Well, this is fitting because if you take a look at today's pantograph and the TV section, you will see that the Statler brothers are going to have their show, as they usually do on Saturday nights. But
Yes, they've been running about 5 years.
there's a guy that's going to have to tear out of the studio pretty quick because he's scheduled to be on with them tonight.
Yes, I'm going to have to fly down to Nashville. No, it's a tape deal, which my agent, I need to leave a wake-up call because it doesn't bother to tell me when it was going to air, but now I know.
All right. Twice.
We
We
had
have
an
it
informative show.
at 8 o'clock tonight on TNN, the
That's
Statler
right.
Brothers. And then it'll also be on at 11 o'clock if you miss us.
Yes,
So.
and many people don't realize that I was on their very first show, Out of the Blocks, with Barbara Mandrell. So
Wow.
this is the second time in 42 years they've had me back.
It must have been good.
And it was a cold day. Right? I said it'd be a cold day when we have him back on. So it
Well,
worked
it's
out real
cold
well.
today.
Yeah.
In fact, you helped Barbara Mandrell make up her mind to end her career.
Yes, I did. I've ended a lot of careers. You know, I don't know how I've survived. You know, every time I go to Branson, the place burns down. I mean, you know, it's true. We were working at Becky Gillies. I worked the first weekend. It burned down with Twitty, and then I go down to the work at the Palace with Barbara Mandrell, and just this past October, and we leave, and it burns. You know, they're going to arrest me for arson. I don't even have anything to do with it.
I think you need therapy.
Maybe I shouldn't take that grill back to my dressing room, I guess.
That can of
Bag
sterno.
of charcoal.
Yeah.
He's so used to cooking on sterno.
I said, turn that hog one more time.
And I think a couple of days after you appeared with Conway Twitty, he passed away.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was tragic. What a good guy.
You liked him a whole lot, didn't you?
I loved that guy. He was the best.
Yeah.
That was primarily because Conway paid him better than anybody else.
Well, he did, yes. That was a big factor. And he always, his favorite joke that I told on the stage was kind of a ridiculous joke. He says, "You got to tell that lion joke today, ain't you?" But about the lion, the real egocentric lion that was prancing around the jungle, bugging all the other animals. And he come up to the monkey and he says, "Who's the king of the jungle?" Monkey said, "You are, Miss Lion. Everybody knows that. You got it right, ugly. Don't forget it." Pranced on down to the zebra. "Who's the king of the jungle?" Zebra, "Everybody knows you are, Miss Lion. Nobody mess with you." He said, "You got it right, Stripes. He's bugging everybody." Then he come up with this gorilla. He said, "Who's the king of the jungle?" The gorilla doesn't say anything, just grabbed him by the tail, banged him off about 8 trees, threw him into a ditch. The lion looked up. He said, "Just because you don't know the answer, you have to get mad about it." Twitty loved that joke.
Hear the story. You just reminded me of another one here about the gorilla. The lion was drinking water out of the pond, and the gorilla snuck up behind him and pushed him right in the water, and then ran away. And the lion crawled out of the lake. He was mad. He was just furious. He started chasing the gorilla, and the gorilla realized he could not outrun the lion, so he runs into this camp, runs in the tent, puts on a safari outfit, pith helmet and everything, hops in a lawn chair and starts reading the newspaper. The lion comes tearing in, and he says, "Did you see a gorilla around here?" He says, "You mean the gorilla that pushed that stupid lion in the lake?" The lion said, "Don't tell me it's in the newspaper already."
That's good. I love those animal jokes. They're so goofy.
Let me break for a minute. Royce is here, Booger's here, and so is Roger Monroe. It's the Ken Behrens Show. Saturday Get Together. Get in. Feel free to do it at 829-2345 or 1-800-322-9377. Royce Elliott's here. By the way, thank you very much for this
the
Coats for Kids thing you did for me.
Well, did you notice it had some mittens tied to the sleeves?
I noticed that. Yeah.
Nice.
You didn't have to do that, but that's great.
No, that's your varsity jacket. Now you served enough time behind the mic on stage, so you earned your varsity letter jacket.
Yeah, that's nice.
What's that retail for?
Next year, about $90.
As if he'd pay retail.
$89.99.
Okay. There's a reason we have him on the show. 14. I could use a pair of pants once in a while, too, and do a hat.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're a clothes horse. I never knew they had so many different styles in polyester. His closet caught on fire, cost him $5.
Royce Elliott is here, and we are. The place is up for grabs, is what it is, isn't it? It never seems to.
You want to go through that last call?
No, we'll just start.
I don't mean Duff.
I'm not going to touch that.
We'll just sort of wait.
Hey, Duff is a great guy,
Duff
by
is
the
a
way.
good- yeah.
He's short. I like him because he's short.
He said he's an ex. You want to read that, Ken? Go ahead.
What?
You started to read.
I was going to bring something up to talk.
I was
not
gonna
that you guys
mention-
would be interested, but I ran across some information because I thought.
Let me ask real quick. You mentioned Duffy. He's former ISU baseball coach for many years.
For 100 years.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Duff's a great baseball man.
How about that? The ISU women defeated Bradley.
Yes, big time.
They
Well,
did last
ISU's
night.
got a great sports program, both men and women's basketball, as well as the other sports.
This is nice.
Great.
We always hear
It's a
about this great
sport.
rivalry.
Yeah.
You guys enjoy the sport. It's not that we're trying to beat somebody else.
Right.
These guys are from Peoria, so
Sure.
Well,
you're in enemy territory, so you're just
ISU's
trying to
had,
sound good.
a great lineup, not only great teams, but great coaches. Look at all
Yes, they have.
where they've gone.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had a great Peoria product that played at ISU that held the scoring record for a long time. Freddie Marbury from Manual, who was a great leaper who ended up playing for the Globetrotters.
Is he with Globetrotters?
Well, he's not now. He's 60 years old, Roger. Yeah, I mean, he only plays so long.
You know,
Roger, I mean, get a clue.
Let's see the Globetrotters. Did you guys?
I leave a wake-up call, Roger.
I ran across this the other day. The Globetrotters played their first game in Illinois. Did you know that?
In Illinois, really?
Yeah, the first.
90 years old, Roger. Still playing?
I never heard of him, to tell you the truth.
Well, he never heard of you either.
It's even that way. The Globetrotters played their
Heard
first.
of your brother, though.
How are you getting back to Peoria, by the way? How are you and Booger getting me back to
I'll
Peoria
go to
without
Ken's
my
house
car?
and have my wife pick me up.
Again. I've left him at Bob Evans more than once for his insults, believe me.
Yeah. Royce knows where to find his wife, too. She's always at the grocery store.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
I actually had to hire a rodeo clown to distract me so she can get the groceries in the house.
It's 6 minutes in front of 11 at WJBC. Good morning to you. Anybody on this line? Hello.
Yes, I'm on this line. I just called to say hello to Royce Elliott. I'm the lady he met in Chicago when he was with the McGuire sisters.
Oh, yeah. Well, how
so
are
I
you?
just called to say hello.
Well, it's good to hear from you.
Yeah, well, I glad to hear you, too.
Well, don't forget to tune in to Statler Brothers tonight.
Yes, I know, but I got to watch the Bulls game, too.
Well, sure. Well,
I mean, you know,
you
I
got to
wouldn't want-
establish priorities, but you can catch the rerun at
Well,
11.
I'm glad they got these little clickers, because, baby, I really use it.
Oh, man. Hey.
Yeah. And that TV remote ain't bad either.
And that's what...
She's talking about her teeth.
You have a good day.
Right, thanks for calling.
All right,
welcome.
okay. 5 in front of 11 at
People
W.
are taking a chance calling in on this show with Royce.
Yeah,
Speaking
they,
of Drury Lane, I am going to be at Drury Lane again in March with Lou Rawls.
Yes, Lou Rawls.
I think it's the 20th, 21st, 22nd, then the following week with Vicky Carr. That's Drury Lane at 95th and Western.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Roger will be there trying to imitate a human. No,
I won't.
No.
It fell miserably.
Nah.
No, you can.
Roger's one of the great commercial talents of this.
You're still walking.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Can't get back in the car, huh?
Yeah.
Well, in that
Booker's
case,
in, but you're out.
in that case, ugly.
It's 5 in front of 11. I guess I said that. You know, whenever Royce peddles his joke book or his tapes, he always says, if you have a really dull life, you know, this will, you'll find it interesting.
Yeah.
I ran across a list of things that you might be interested in. These are warning signs that you need a new life. Are you ready for some of these?
Yeah.
On the edge of our seats.
Your job requires you to wear a paper hat. You consider professional wrestling a sport. All right, I won't do you anymore.
Yeah,
that's it.
I think you're going to tank.
Warning signs. Warning signs that you need a new life. Let me try a couple more of these.
Yeah, I'll try a couple more.
Yeah,
Ken.
sure.
You know all
Make
the words.
A fool of yourself. Go ahead.
Too late. You know all the words to the Brady Bunch theme. You don't buy National Enquirer. At the checkout, you subscribe.
That's good.
You believe Oswald acted alone except for the aliens behind the grassy knoll. The first 4 digits of your girlfriend's phone number are 1-900.
That's good.
And finally, you know you need a new life if you play the accordion.
Oh, yeah.
Do you play the accordion, Roger?
No, but I had a couple of friends that did.
Well, you know what?
Contino?
Mel Tillis told me one time, he said the definition of an optimist is an accordion player with a beeper.
Boy, is that true. Isn't it true?
It's rough out there, I tell you, boys. Yeah. Rodney said he worked a supper club that was so tough, they served broken leg of lamb.
I saw a report on an accident one time. A bus got in a big collision, and a band was on board, and it said 14 musicians were killed, plus an accordion player.
But, you know, Dick Contino was a great... I mean, he was probably the most renowned of all time, wasn't he?
Was he in Illinois?
Lady of Spain, I adore you.
He was working. He had a new record out probably within the last 10 years that was produced in Illinois.
I've got
Dick Contino?
Dick Contino, yeah.
I'm up to 260. That's a record for me.
A couple of minutes in front of 11. Oh, your WJBC Gold Card Plus. We'll visit.
How do we
some
get
more.
one of those gold cards?
Well, you should apply for that, and then you
hey, they're
get
a
it
good
mailed to
deal,
you.
boy.
Saves you money here and there. And
Can we apply for it here?
Not today.
All right. Are these questions too hard?
You can.
Hey, we might as well plug the old Valentine's Day show.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have time.
We're going to visit. We have about a minute here before the news. You put together a what you call your Royce Elliott Sweetheart Comedy Show.
Yes.
And what better time than Valentine's Day for that?
Good timing.
Starring Ken Behrens. Ken Behrens and Booger and yours truly. And
is Roger going to be there?
Roger's going to be emceeing it.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
I
quit.
He bailed out
You're
on me.
still walking.
Anyway, this is going to be, let's see, Valentine's Day is February 14th. And that'll be at the, the Cater Inn.
Cater Inn, yes.
In Peoria, which is on Pioneer Parkway. So
beautiful prime rib buffet with chicken and fish and taters and the best vegetables. And a gourmet dessert.
A gourmet dessert?
One of them gourmet desserts. And beverage. And, you can call 692-3990 till 5 p.m. And then after, you can call 698-8047.
That's your number, isn't it?
Yes, it is. My honorable number 2 son, Brian, handles all that. And both area codes are 309.
Yes.
Billy Baru.
So you should call ahead for a reservation so they know how.
Yeah, it's
how
a
to
good
play.
idea, Ken. That's why we brought it up. Well, you're right on the cutting edge.
You notice, Ken, how he turns on his best friend?
He does. And he doesn't have many.
No, that's right. He's a regular Don Rickles.
Hey, this is. But I know you're a big fan of the Three Stooges.
Oh, I
Royce.
love him. Shemp. I love Shemp especially.
Really? More than Curly? It seems like every...
Curly's great, too. I mean, they're all good. Shemp ain't ugly enough. That's one thing. One time this big gorilla was chasing him. He said, Mo, it's a big chimney pansy. They're so ridiculous.
You know, they say that that's the real difference between men and women. If you ask a man who the greatest people in the world were, they'd say Edison, maybe Jonas Salk, and then probably Mo. And women can't stand him. You know?
I know. Yeah, it's like Rickles. A lot of people, women, say, I hate Rickles. And they take him serious. It's an act. You know?
I think if you found a girl who liked the Three Stooges, marry her.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Might turn out to be a guy, though.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, I hope you
don't know.
That's not politically correct.
I hope you check things out a little further before you got that far into it. It's 12 minutes after 11. Royce Elliott's here, and Royce is going to be on TV tonight on TNN. If you
Channel 24
cable,
here in Bloomington.
Right, at 8 o'clock, and also at 11 with the Statler Brothers.
Good guys. I love the Statlers.
This is a show that you did some time ago.
Well, I taped it in November, so...
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's some time ago.
Well, yes, it is. Everything relative.
Royce also closed for Barbara Mandrell. Actually opened for Barbara Mandrell when she closed.
She closed for me. What I like is a good, strong closer.
Yeah.
But you've known her for a long time, haven't
Barbara's a great talent.
But she's decided to sort of
go into acting.
And as she did, is that truck going to back into the building?
Truck going to back into the studio
here? My lunch.
Yeah, we're sitting in the studio
from schooners,
watching a truck almost back into the side of the building.
I'm a little nervous there.
Booger used to be part of a ventriloquist act, but he got too big for the guy's lap.
I was going to say, the company, in order to make more money, has decided to teach drivers how to
driver's ed in your lot.
But it's 11:13. If you want to get in, you can do it at 829-2345 or 1-800-322-9377. One of the fun things we do with Royce is have him do his 60-second drill, where we see how many jokes he can actually tell in the span of 1 minute. That would be 60 seconds, wouldn't it?
Last time I checked.
Either or, yeah. Let's see if I can get my brain out of vapor lock.
Do you want to do it?
Well, sure.
You want a little more time?
No.
Another cup of coffee?
Yeah, what the hey? Yeah, a cup of coffee would be good. Get me
Can't have it in the studio,
up.
though. That's
that's the rule, isn't it? That's always
why
been
don't you just count me out of this whole deal, then? No, we can do it anytime you're ready. I don't care.
Okay. Let me break for this, and we're going to be back. Royce Elliott is here, and so is Roger Monroe.
Notice you didn't have any donuts either.
That's part of his contract. You know, a lot of these entertainers have these long contracts drawn up. They have to have this and that. Donuts is what is the number one requirement.
That's right.
Mineral water is another one.
I didn't get this physique from abstaining, I'll tell you that.
Back in a moment. Back here. I think we're back. Just doing the technical stuff that has to be done. When you guys are around, it's real chore. I'll tell you that.
A little distraction or two for you there, Ken.
Like Marlon Perkins' Wild Kingdom. Yeah. See the tranquilizer gun.
Royce has been doing comedy for about, 150 years?
150 years. So started about 100 pounds ago in doing sports banquets on the weekends.
We mentioned that Royce was quite an athlete, didn't we? We're talking about athletes.
Good athlete. He was very, very good. All you need to do is ask him. He'll tell you how good he is.
He told me. Now, Roger, you can back this up. Royce tells me he was the fastest runner at Woodruff High School. Is that right?
There's absolutely no truth to that at all. I looked in the yearbook, and he was 33rd. No, that is true. He was quick on his feet, and he was
corrugate that. You corrugate that, or collaborate that.
Corroborate, I guess, is the word you want.
Corroborate. That's it.
In fact, I won the 100-yard dash once. It didn't count because I ran under the tape. It's tough to be short.
But he was a good athlete. He was good at basketball. He was good at baseball, and
football. Played a lot of football in my day.
But because he was so fast, he figured he could go into comedy.
That's right.
And then if he was really
fast, you just make it for the exit.
Take it off.
And try to get your check before you go on. That's the secret of that game.
That's the golden rule in entertainment, isn't it? Get the check before you go on.
But all seriousness aside, Royce has really been one of those guys that hasn't had to run. He sticks around. I love it because he goes out before the show, visits with the audience, has enough nerve to visit with them afterwards. And
he wants them to be friends when he goes on.
I want to try to make sure I make it to the car.
You are really one of the greatest schmoozers I've ever met. And I mean that as a compliment. I mean, you're a people person. You are
I love
plus a funny guy. Just a really funny guy.
We have a lot of fun.
Does that mean we're supposed to compliment him now?
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Good, yeah. You are good. You are good. You're a great radio voice, and you do a great... You don't clear it on the air.
Where's the cough button?
And you do a great job as a stand-up comedian.
Now let me say something nice about Roger.
No.
What a nice sweater.
He made that at camp and knit one pearl too. Looks a lot better without the letter that he had on it, I'll tell you.
Yeah, you used that earlier.
Did I? Well, I'm going to keep using it until you understand
it. I know.
You're a little bit slow, Rod, so sometimes you have to come back and see if you're still awake.
We'll see how fast you make it back to Peoria. We'll see how fast you are.
WJBC, I think we have somebody on the line. Can we help you?
Yeah, I just want to mention Royce and you and a couple others had a show at the VFW, I think, this fall sometime I went to.
Oh, great.
Wow. And it was great. Had a good time.
Got a few laughs out of it.
Well, we did. And I wanted to double-check when that next one's going to be.
Okay.
Valentine's Day, I think.
Valentine's Day. Well, Ken will give you the information right now.
Saturday the 14th, because it's been handed to me here. The Cater Inn, which is on
Where's that?
West Pioneer
Park in Peoria.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you said I was going to give the information.
Well,
he can't stand it. He's got to be in the limelight.
By the way, Royce, what are the 3 stages of senility?
I give up.
Well, first you forget names. Mm-hmm. All right. Second, you forget to zip up.
Then you forget to zip down.
Then you forget to zip down.
Yeah.
That's the Cater Inn, did you say?
The Cater Inn,
yeah.
Where do you?
Give the phone number.
How do you get tickets?
Let me give you the number.
Attention, will you?
Okay. 692-3990.
3990. Got it.
That would be area code 309.
Well, we'll try to come over.
Bring
and see
the sweetheart.
Great.
Come on
Appreciate
over.
it. Yeah, it'd be a great time. We're gonna.
No, we had a lot of fun at the one you had here in town, and had all the people did real great job, including Ken, which was a big surprise.
No,
that's enough. I thought we had a caller on the line here.
Ken is very clever.
All right, thanks a lot.
Appreciate you calling.
Thanks.
Lots of Statlers tonight.
Yeah, I will.
That's very nice of Royce's son to call us.
Yeah. Thanks, son.
Yeah.
All right, let's do your 60-second drill. What do you say?
All right.
You want to time this? Do you have a watch?
How much time? Yes. How much time you want to give him?
Tell him 60, but use about a minute and a half.
Okay.
See if he runs out of air.
See by the clock on the wall, there's a dead fly, so we'll do it.
Okay.
I can't loan my brother-in-law money. It gives him amnesia. My doctor said to work out with dumbbells. I asked him to go jogging with me. I got on a scale day, got a card back, so one at a time. I was so fat, my wife had to let out the shower curtain. I used a rowing machine, and it sank. I'm the only guy in town that uses a golf cart to play horseshoes. My wife, we got our first set of food stamps. She ate them. Such a rotten cook. Our roaches are anorexic. At our house, we pray after we eat. She fed me so many TV dinners every time I see tinfoil, I get hungry. My grandpa was so dumb he fought in the Civil War for the West. Spent 2 weeks trying to teach some Morse code to a woodpecker. Heard about the war on poverty, threw a hand grenade at a bum. Threw his back out. He went on an elephant hunt, and they made him carry the decoy. My uncle gave up drinking. He saw the handwriting on the floor. He graduated from college, magna cum laude. He took a blood test, came back with an olive in it. They cremated him when he died, and he burned for 3 days. I got my shoes shined. I had to take the guy's word for it. The doctor said I must be on the level. I got a bubble in the middle. I said, Doc, is that it?
That's it. That's very good. How many you want? Very good.
I forgot to keep track of how many he did. I was supposed to keep track, huh?
Yeah, you told me to watch the clock.
I was 23. 23
jokes?
23. Wasn't I right about 23?
I think you're about 23. Yeah.
That ain't bad. One every second and a half or so.
But I wasn't really counting, I think. It was just roughly.
You used all those this morning in Bob Evans, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I rehearsed.
No, he did. He did. You know, we go into a restaurant. He goes from table to table, and then he uses the same performance at night and charges $3,500. It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Baby needs shoes.
WJBC, good morning. Anybody here?
Oh, I am here.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. And yourself?
Terrific.
You're just so refreshing. I doubt if I could afford to go to Decatur to see him or anything.
No, it's
but
not
does he have
Decatur,
a
it's
book?
Peoria.
Oh, well, there either. But do you have a book or anything?
Yes, I do. I'm glad you asked. Yeah, they have them available at Schooner's. My joke book and also my comedy tape, which is a live show for the Gatlin Brothers Theater in Myrtle Beach.
Oh,
I think you'll enjoy it. And they're
at
on
Schooner's.
sale. Yeah.
Okay.
As we speak, they're on sale.
Okay, great.
Thanks
well,
for
thank
calling.
you. You guys are great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as Royce always says, they do take cash with proper ID.
Proper identification. Or food stamps.
Didn't she have a lovely voice?
She really did.
She did.
Very
She's
charming
got a radio
woman.
voice.
She could do the
Should
news.
be on the air.
She could do a late night show on WJBC.
She'd be. They could call in and say, how's it going? I love those psychiatrists joke. I said, Doc, I got this terrible memory problem. I say that before. He said, pay me in advance.
You have a lot of good doctors.
A lot of psychiatrists.
I love it. He
jokes.
said, Doc, you got to help me. I can't get along with anybody, you fat slob. Nobody ever pays any attention to me, Doc. He said, next. Like I said, nobody ever takes me seriously, Doc. He said, no kidding. He said, Doc, you got to help me. He said, what do you do? He said, I'm a mechanic. He said, lay under the couch. Isn't that absurd? I guess I got this complex, Doc. I keep thinking of my dog. He said, how long have you suffered with this delusion? He said, ever since I was a pup. He said, well, lay on that couch. We'll try to figure it out. He said, I'm not allowed on the couch. That's it. He said, my legs kill me, Doc. He said, take all your clothes off and stand by that window and stick your tongue out. He said, I'm here because my leg hurts. He said, no, but I'm mad at my neighbor.
Okay.
Skinny said his doctor gave his uncle 6 months to live. He couldn't pay his bills, so he gave him another 6 months.
It's 11:24 at WJBC. Don't go away. You just reminded me when you were talking about late night talk shows. We had a gentleman on this station years ago, and then was taken off, and then he hit it big nationwide.
Who was that?
Larry King. Listen to this. This is the way his show. Are you
kidding?
familiar with Larry King?
Oh, sure am, man. He's one of those flaming liberals in the media business.
He does a show that sounds like this.
I don't like it.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Larry King Live. It's open phones tonight. Talk about whatever you want. I don't care. Ypsilanti, Michigan. What's the question?
Yes, Larry.
Go ahead.
I'm a child of the 50s. Which
Hey, baby.
Registered
You know, you sound pretty cute there.
What?
Will you marry me?
No way.
All right. 2 Egg, Florida. What's the question?
Yes, Larry. I was wondering about the...
You sound pretty cute, too.
Oh, thank you. I just
how
wanted
about
to
it?
know...
Come on.
Wow.
You want to marry me?
No!
You have no taste, my friend. Okay, that's it for tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Larry King. Good night.
That's funny.
That is great. Who is that guy?
Larry King, of course.
No,
Just a little excerpt from this show.
I like that. Will you marry me? Well, he's been married about 9 times now.
Yeah.
And he's had a heart attack about 8 times.
Yeah. He's the inspiration for that song.
Wash and wear wedding.
He was the inspiration for that song, My Ninth Wife. Now, there was a real loser.
He's been married so many times he's got rice marks
on his face.
That's right.
11:26.
That is a great bit. I've never heard that before.
Good takeoff. I'm not sure who that is, but guy sounds a lot like Larry King.
I like it. That's funny stuff.
We were talking before about people that maybe you want to call in and just talk about people you met. This is open season for anybody if they want to get in.
Yeah.
At 829-2345. Royce happens to be here, and he's worked with some of the best. I mean, he's worked with, as we mentioned, Conway Twitty, Barbara Mandrell, the Gatlin Brothers, Statler Brothers.
Sinatra.
Did you work with Sinatra?
Yeah, Sinatra hosted the Tommy Lasorda roast that I did
in
with
Vegas,
Rich Little.
wasn't it?
Yeah, in Vegas with John Biner, Rich Little, Buddy Hackett, Jerry Lewis, Norm Crosby. I was probably the only guy there I never heard of.
But you put him away.
I knocked him in the crick, I must admit. I got a nice write-up in the Vegas paper about it.
Yeah.
So
you've entertained Vegas and Atlantic City,
a lot
and,
of Vegas,
the Gatlin Brothers,
Bally's and MGM Grand and Harris, all over the joint.
and even
Branson.
Canada. You do Canada, don't you?
Oh, I do a lot of stuff in Canada. I love Canada.
Have you ever been booked into an area where they don't speak English?
No, you
had a show down in Florida where you didn't think they spoke English.
Yeah, oh boy, that was like Twilight Zone. That never happens to me. I roared out and did about 15 one-liners, and it was like an oil painting. I said, "This is the first time I've ever seen dead people eat." And then I started getting their attention. You Yeah. If you guys look like you broke away from your embalmer.
These nights
I just
happen.
entertain myself, so I'd tell a joke. Well, that's a keeper in there, Stump. You son of a buck, you're a rat. What about you guys out there? Join in anytime.